Hello students, today we are going to discuss on a very important topic of VLSI design, that is VLSI process technology, and this is going to be very helpful for those who are preparing their GATE exams also for solid state electronics and advanced microelectronics, VLSI design as well as EDA design. Apart from that, in today's PPT, I am going to show you a detailed method of it so that it will be helpful for your study regarding VLSI process technology. Okay, now talking about of the VLSI process technology, basically VLSI technique, it is such a methodology, you can say, which is actually is having a very thin line difference between VLSI design and VLSI technology. VLSI design, it is such a design by means of which billions of transistors can be embed in a small single tiny IC. So the method, we call it as VLSI design, by means of which we do so, and such a technology by means of which we used to install it or maybe impregnate in a small single IC. The technology behind it, we call it as VLSI technology. So there is a basic thin line difference between VLSI design and VLSI technology. Moving ahead with silicon semiconductor technology, and it is a very important topic of yours, that what do you mean by silicon semiconductor technology? So it is having the following steps, that is crystal growth, oxidation, photolithography, diffusion, ion implantation, etching, epitaxial growth, metallization and packaging. So first I will discuss quickly to the crystal growth, that is the silicon crystal. I believe that in my previous lectures I have shown you that why silicon is to be taken for, and why only the the semiconducting material, among many semiconductor materials, only the silicon is to be used as a crystal material for the substrate. Okay, so basic chemistry behind it is that this equations where silicon, that is a very impure silicon initially, what we achieve from, I mean, deep under the soil, and then we used to collect it from there, and when we mix it with the silicon carbide, with the oxidation material, that is silicon dioxide material, in a presence of coal, charcoal and the wood chips of 1400 degrees centigrade, we used to get the metallurgical grade of 98% of purity of silicon we used to get, and the remaining materials of silicon monoxide, SiO, and carbon monoxide. And further, that particular, we cannot call it as a pure one, so that impure silicon need to be again processed with hydrochloric acid at 300 degree centigrade temperature. We get it, that is trichlorosilane with hydrogen gas. Moving ahead with that trichlorosilane, if we if we put it with the hydrogen oxide, and in a gas chamber where, in presence of 1150 degree centigrade to 1200 degree centigrade temperature, then we can get some sort of purity. Okay, some sort of purity. Why it is required? Because I told you earlier also that for a IC fabrication we need at least, that the purity of the silicon need to be achieved in addition with the hydrochloric acid. Now since this purity need to be taken care of, then we can move ahead with the silicon crystal growth properly. After that, which is a very natural process, if we take it silicon, that is called oxidation. Now basically it is of a two type, dry and wet. Depending upon the name itself, we can see that, see, if it is a silicon, the moment it is getting added with the oxygen which is there in the moisture, in presence of 900 to 1200 degrees centigrade, it becomes as oxide material, dielectric constant, that we call it as SiO2. Similarly, if it is there is a moisture content, if it is there with silicon, so silicon plus 2H2O, in presence of 700 to 1100 degrees centigrade, we can get it as SiO2 plus hydrogen. So that dielectric material, basically it is used for the oxide, oxide material. We call it as oxide thickness, that is T-ox. Initially linearly increases with time, then oxide growth becomes parabolic. So it depends upon the linear growth of the increment with time, of the oxide thickness. It depends upon the dielectric materials also. Now coming back to that procedure, what I mean, by means of which that can be achieved. So we call it as chemical vapor deposition. Very very important topic. That chemical vapor deposition, actually it happens with it is getting added with the 2H2O, that is Si C2H2 C2H5O4 plus 2H2O. At the presence of 700 degree temperature, we can get it SiO2 plus C2H6O. In CVD technique, the oxide thickness also it grows, that is the T-ox is also, it grows linearly with time. Very very important. And followed by photolithography, which is a very important aspect of it, of a solid semiconductor technology, where we can see that that is the Si wafer. We can see this is a cropped image. I have taken it for your understanding from a book. That silicon wafer, this is generally used for as a substrate over which that SiO2 material has been layered, and over which the photoresist need to be taken care of. It is maybe of hardened or softened depending upon the its material properties. And then when it is incidenting on the high UV light, okay, so that high frequency UV light actually get soluble with the softened photoresist, and the hardened photoresist remain there. So we can get it some kind of like this type, where the remaining portion are there, and we call it as patterned photoresist. And then finally the top layers is getting stripped off. We call it as a strip resist. So this is the total process of photolithography. Generally this process is done when the UV light is incidenting on that particular layer, so that is why we call it as a photolithography. Here some method is used by using lensing. So it can be used as a concave lens or convex lens. The moment if you put it also, the focus regions are actually getting depending upon the length of that region. So based on the basic physics science, we can actually increase the intensity of the light putting over the mask layers. Okay, finally drift and diffusion, very very important. I hope you all know, in the basic sciences we have seen that in this process actually dopants are introduced into the wafer, and ambient is created of the dopant atoms at the surface of wafer at around 800 to 1200 degrees centigrade. Moving ahead with ion implantation, that is to be done for that same polarity of the combinations that need to be taken care of when say suppose based on the substrate layering. So here the individual dopant atoms are first ionized, and then they are accelerated. Actually the accelerated ions then impinge on the surface and generally penetrate to the substrate. So this is a basic phenomena of the ion implantation. And finally etching, it is a continuous approach. We call it as a removal of some things, so we call it as a etching. In VLSI technology we term it as a etching, but it is of two types. Generally it is of isotropic and anisotropic. In isotropic, we can see in the right hand side of the figure, where you can see that, see, the each rate is same in all directions. The etching rate is same, removal rate is same. But if you see in the left hand direction, we can see that the etch rate is not same. See, left hand side is less and right hand side is more. So etch rate is not same in all directions. So we can see this is the basic difference between the isotropic and isotropic etching. Finally, we generally epitaxial growth need to be taken care of, where CVD technique has the major important. Other LPE, liquid phase epitaxy, physical vapor deposition, molecular beam epitaxy, also this are to be taken care of. But mainly we follow the chemical vapor deposition and molecular beam epitaxy for proper layering of the IC fabrication. Finally, we go for metallization and packaging. We all know that the metal is getting the material which is to be used in the metal, that depends upon the actual conductivity of it. Because of its high conductivity, we used to follow that in the interconnection need to be taken care of those materials. So especially aluminium and copper are mostly used for the interconnections, and the package need to be provides of these following points, which is very very important in terms of for a proper packaging and bonding. So this is the whole step of the solid semiconductor technology. I believe this all the steps are very very important to you. If you kindly go through each and every points also in detail analysis of those points as a notes, I'll describe in other slides, other videos also. So please go through this PPT. I hope it will be very helpful for you. Thank you.